All right, will they stay or will they go? That is the question I get from Coyote fans these days. The Tempe Arena vote failed, leaving them without a long-term home here in the Valley for now. For more on the Coyotes and their future here, I spoke to PHNX Coyotes insider Craig Morgan.
What's the latest? Where are we at on the hope scale of keeping the Coyotes in the Valley?
Well, there are a lot of options. I know Mesa has jumped to the fore right now. Fiesta Mall is a place that everybody's talking about. Alex Morello does not want to sell the team. The NHL at this point is not going to force him to sell the team. And the NHL still believes that there are viable sites here in the Valley for the Coyotes to build an arena. Now, the real question is the timeline. How much longer are they going to be patient? Look, the NHLPA is not happy about this either. It affects revenue for all the players. The Coyotes players are in this situation that they're in, playing in a 4,600 seat arena. They have an offsite training facility at the Ice Den. They have travel issues. There's a lot of stuff that the PA is worried about. But in the end, the PA really doesn't have power to enact that change. That comes from the Board of Governors, and there is definitely pressure. They are sick, quite honestly, of paying the Coyotes freight all this time while they lose money year after year after year. They need to have a plan on the table by September, or the wheels will start spinning on an alternative.
Greg, what do you think the interest is from just other places here in the Valley that want to work with the Coyotes? I mean, they trotted out the Tempe Arena deal as one of the greatest, if not the greatest arena deals in all of sports, and it failed. So why should somebody else line up to work with the Yotes?
And you've already seen John Giles, the Mesa mayor, coming out and very publicly supporting the idea of the Coyotes coming to Mesa. So that's a possibility. I think the key here, though, is after this Tempe experience, the Coyotes don't want a public vote on whatever they're going to choose. And that limits some of your options. Now, John Giles thinks that they are capable of doing a deal in Mesa without a public vote. There's a trick to that, right? You have to make sure that after the fact, it can't be challenged by someone legally. Any of the possibilities that we're going to talk about, they have complications that they have to work through.
Do you think it makes any sense for them to come back downtown? Do you think the Suns will listen?
They did say if that ever became a possibility, they would have that conversation. I don't see the Coyotes being a tenant in somebody else's building. It simply doesn't work for the NHL. If you look at all these shared arenas around North America, not a single one involves an NHL team as a tenant in somebody else's building. Either they own the building or the owner owns both of the teams. Why? Because NHL teams rely on so much of their revenue coming from the arena. The only way it happens at Footprint is if Matt Ishbia actually wants to buy the Coyotes. And we're not at that point yet.
Crazy. We got a hockey team, and yet we talk so little hockey from time to time. But how will this affect the product on the ice in the short term?
I have a lot of admiration for what they're doing on the hockey ops side. It's something that's needed to be done for a long time. We've seen rebuilds in the past with the Coyotes, but they always abandoned it midstream. Bill Armstrong wants to do it the right way, and he's been given the green light to do it the right way. The concern here is, with the instability of the arena, does your core remain committed to staying here? You can't blame a player if they don't want to spend the prime of their career in rebuilding years. And then look at the prospects, too. Logan Cooley told me this past weekend that the Tempe vote influenced his decision not to turn pro. He was leaning toward turning pro, their first-round draft pick from last year. Instead, he decided to go back to the University of Minnesota to see how this plays out. So there are very real implications of a lack of stability from the top.
Two main takeaways I took from my conversation with Craig. One, there's hope that they could stay here in the Valley. And two, they better figure something out fast because time is ticking.
Yeah, September, right?
Yep, September. Seems like a good timeline, right before the season starts.
Yeah.
All right, Cam, thank you.